Okay, we are ready to start this afternoon session. So we're now launching into a series of three science panels that are focused on hydrology and water quality. So welcome again to the Keystone Center dialogue on the independent science panels on Pebble's baseline studies. We're gonna jump right into this, but we did want to do a little bit of a review because we may have some new people here. We have some new people, I think, online probably. We have on our web streaming this morning. We had over 200 people that were watching the web stream, so that's pretty exciting. So what I want to do is to start off with Jane Whitsett from Pebble to kind of give you a little bit of an overview. Charlotte did this yesterday. Charlotte McKay did it from Pebble. Charlotte's not here today, so Jane's going to give a sort of a brief kind of summary of the baseline study, so we have that context to get started in. So, Jane.
Good afternoon. So I'm going to go through some of the points that we presented yesterday morning, again as a refresher and also for the people that may have joined the session today. The Pebble Project Environmental Baseline Document, it's an extensive scientific document that represents the first 5 years of the Pebble environmental studies. These early studies will inform the infected environment section for the NEPA EIS process. NEPA is the National Environmental Policy Act. EIS is that environmental impact statement that will come once a project goes into permitting. The studies also guide preliminary project design decisions. For example, sensitive areas are defined by the studies and are factored into facility siting decisions. And streamflow data is factored into water balance models to inform water management strategies. These early studies also help inform the design of additional studies to support baseline monitoring and final engineering once a project design has been determined. However, it's important to remember that the EBD's purpose and objective, as well as its context in relation to the full set of data that will be collected. The objective of the EBD is to characterize the existing regional environment prior to any disturbance from construction or operation of a mining project. The EBD data set represents studies conducted from 2004 to 2008. That's the first 5 years of our studies. We continue to do these studies. And we have limited updates through 2010 for some sections in that 2004 to 2008 document. The Pebble Environmental Study Program continues to evolve, and we look forward to your recommendations and suggestions for our consideration in future study development. So these studies are under development, they continue, they evolve, and this is a really great opportunity to get input to inform that as we go forward. As you review and discuss the data, we request that you keep the following points in mind. A variety of methods and studies have been included, each with their strengths and their limitations, to provide a wide spectrum of knowledge and perspective. The Environmental Study Program is not a static program. A number of the studies in the EBD continue beyond the 5 years of data covered in the EBD, and some new studies have also been initiated since 2008. The environmental program will continue to evolve with new and modified studies over time. The studies are set up to provide data that's representative of typical environments in the study area. The sampling site locations do not represent the locations of any facilities or proximity to any facilities other than the Pebble deposit itself. The sampling stations and methods within the EBD studies are not set up to establish reference sites for future monitoring. Until PLP has settled on a project design, it's not meaningful to set up monitoring sites or reference sites. We are considering a wide variety of project concepts. Our mine concept studies area are a dynamic evolution of project concepts that are continuing to undergo revision, refinement, and things like that. We do not have a small set of fully defined options that would be suitable for use in setting locations of future monitoring stations. So at this time, we just don't have enough defined options to actually design a monitoring program. Once a project design has been determined, studies will be designed to provide data for comparative analysis that will demonstrate temporal and spatial changes. These studies will be based on indicator species, and by that what we mean are like macroinvertebrates and periphyton. Those are indicator species for water quality to establish and monitor the quality or health of a waterway. and will include parameters that are best suited for determining local cause and effect factors. Future comparative studies will also will use a set of defined methodologies particularly suited to the expressed purpose, and as appropriate will incorporate statistical power analyses to evaluate adequate sample sizes. We do expect that much of the data collected during these early studies will ultimately be used as is, or more often combined with ongoing data collection for use in permit applications, monitoring, and reference site studies, but which data using which methodologies at which sites cannot be predetermined at this time. Thank you.